What is going on, guys? Welcome. Today, we're going to be covering all the news. Justin Fields to the Steelers. What does it mean for Russ? What does it mean for the Broncos or the rest of us? And what does it mean for the 2024 draft? I'm also going to be doing a mock draft where I will be responding to the news. So definitely stay tuned. We're going to let this breathe a little bit, and I'm going to hit you with the intro. That wasn't supposed to happen. Just kidding. What's going on, guys? Welcome to Kyle Kitzman. I'm not sure what to call this yet, but what we do is we give you the news, and I'm a diehard Denver Broncos fan, attached to the Only Football podcast where me and Rick go live a couple times a week. Bill in the chat, what's going on, Bill? First off, hope you guys had a good St. Patrick's Day weekend. I know I had a lot of fun yesterday. I played 18 holes of golf with my uncle, and then we went to Hooters, which is always a good time and criminally underrated. The Hooters food is pretty damn good. Everything we ordered, I really enjoyed it. And then, we hung out last night, and then today, my uncle is Irish, so we had Irish stew, potatoes, and another famous dish that I can't remember the name of right now, and I drank like 6 Guinnesses, so I'm super full. But some big news happened. And when I was on the golf course, I didn't let it get to me, but I did find out at the very end, thankfully, when I went back to return my clubs. I had to get the rental clubs. I still have all my stuff in storage. But when I got the rental clubs, I saw a little TV in the background, and it said something about Fields. Now, I wasn't quite putting it together yet, but when we got to Hooters, it was on all 20 of their TVs. Justin Fields traded to the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is a very unique kind of nightmare for Bronco fans, okay? Now, we wanted them to bring in Russ, and the Steelers we wanted to bring in Justin Fields. The Steelers managed to get our old quarterback and the one that I wanted us to go after, which leaves 0 options on the table, with the best 3 quarterbacks in the draft being selected 1, 2, and 3. Trading up is not an option. We don't have the equity nor the draft capital to move up. We don't even have a second-round pick. So the question is, how does the Justin Fields trade news affect the Denver Broncos? And I think it does a lot, because I didn't realize just how much eggs I were putting into this basket until it was removed, and I saw that Justin Fields wouldn't be an option to Denver wouldn't be a landing spot for Justin Fields. And now it really makes you go back to the drawing board and go, what options do we have? And that's why we're going to do another mock draft. We're going to see if we can get lucky on that mock draft and maybe a player will fall. But let's cover the news itself to get started. Of course, me will be covering all of this news tomorrow as well on Only Football. But the Bears trading quarterback Justin Fields to the Steelers in exchange for a 2025 conditional 6th-round pick. Now, if you were watching me and Rick's episode the other day, then you heard us talking about how the Bears held on to Fields too long. And essentially, they played themselves because everybody knows that they're drafting Caleb Williams. And now you have a hard time for teams offering you a lot when they know that you don't want Fields anyway. It's hard to sell a quarterback that you don't even want. And the Bears could have done that if they would have been prepared for the position that they were in, which they had ample time to prepare for. But regardless, Justin Fields is literally, it's a highway robbery for the Steelers. A 2025 conditional 6th-round pick. Conditional 6th-round pick. A guy that was taken first in the first round just 4 years ago. So the Bears made the article writer's so funny. The Bears have made a second blockbuster trade. Blockbuster trade. We should reserve that for when a player is traded for multiple first-round picks. You could hardly say that this is a blockbuster trade. I mean, it's a conditional 6th-round pick, but regardless, we'll continue. The Steelers are acquiring Fields from Chicago. The Bears will receive a 2025 conditional 2nd-round pick that could be a 6th-round pick. See, I'm even wanting to say second. I don't get it. That could become a 4th-round selection in exchange for Fields. Now, I guess how it's going to work is Fields would have to play a certain amount for the pick to be worth more. And that's not likely since they've already announced that Fields will be backing up Russell Wilson. Now, I need to verify this news, but this is what I'm hearing. And when I heard that, I thought, well, then they want Russ to teach Fields and Fields to potentially take over, which is a really great situation, which begs the question, why aren't we in that situation? We're the ones paying him, right? Why couldn't we just bring in somebody to compete with Russ? Okay, and now there's so many angles at this, and it's like, how did we get here and where do we go? But Fields posted career highs in passing yards last season, 2,562, and he had 16 touchdowns and a completion percentage at 61.4. We know that Fields is a dynamic quarterback. We all get that, but there's something about Fields that teams aren't absolutely in love with, or he wouldn't have sold for a 6th-round pick. So why do some people value Fields so highly and some people don't value him at all, it seems like? And I think it's because of his ceiling. I think Justin Fields has put enough on tape where if you watch it, you're like, the elite stuff is all in there, but can we pull it out of him? Now, to suggest that Eberflus is going to have less success than Mike Tomlin or Pete Carroll or defensive coach, I'm not really sure. It's not like he's going to Andy Reid or Kyle Shanahan or Sean Payton. But it's interesting how the Steelers are going about this whole entire scenario, and it seems like the Steelers are the teams that capitalize. A 6th-round pick, but the potential that he plays like the quarterback of the future. I mean, you could have a Jalen Hurts in there. You just don't know. So this is, I mean, if you're a Steelers fan, you are so happy. I mean, you're talking about Mitch Trubisky, Mason Rudolph, and Kenny Pickett were your quarterbacks going into last season. And now you're in a situation where Justin Fields and Russell Wilson are in the building. You got to feel really good about that. Like I said, Fields was selected with the 11th overall pick in the 2021 draft, and he has a 10-28 record as a starter. Not great, right? We'll call a spade, not a great record, but plenty of dirty hands to go around. Everybody's somewhat to blame, especially the offensive line and the coaching. He finished his Chicago tenure having thrown for 6,674 yards and 40 touchdowns and 30 picks, adding 2,220 yards on the ground, which is where Fields made some of the biggest impact. And Bill said, "What's up? Just going to Hooters with my uncle." That is super cliche, right? You can take this question later, but what do you think about the number of players straight up cut instead of traded this year? At least the Bears got something for him. Yeah, you're seeing it a lot. I think the salary cap being an extra $30 million might had something to do with that. But I mean, that would seem like more players would be given contracts, but It's just been a year where certain positions has really dried up. Like safety is the new running back. I mean, take a look at all the safeties that are available right now. So I think it really just depends what position you are. Justin Fields was definitely too valuable to release, and in my opinion, too valuable to let go for a sixth, conditional fourth. Um, but yeah, we are seeing that a lot this year. Um, and I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure. I know we see it a lot, but I'm not sure how it compares to like other off seasons where maybe you see some value return. Now, speaking of value, Justin Fields did speak on the value of being a Chicago Bear, and he took it to X to say, "Can't thank you enough to the city of Chicago for taking me in and embracing me. Thank you to the entire Bears organization and ownership for allowing me the opportunity to be part of a historic franchise. But most of all, thank you to all my brothers that I played with." Thank you to all my brothers that I played with. You were the reason I attacked each day the way I did. I can't thank you enough for what y'all meant to me over the last 3 years through the ups and downs. I wish each one of you nothing but success. Ready for this next chapter with a thank you, and it's in black and yellow, not orange and blue. So Justin Fields, man, I mean, it's an exciting story. It's exciting for the city of Pittsburgh. These are the most legit quarterbacks that maybe they've had in the room. I mean, I know everybody got excited about Kenny Pickett last year, but it didn't take long for people to not be interested in Kenny Pickett anymore. Now that you got Russell Wilson and Justin Fields, I think that there's going to be kind of a new energy in Pittsburgh, and don't be surprised if Pittsburgh is predicted as a playoff team amongst most media sources, because I could see that. And Bill said, "Funny you mentioned running back and safety. We got nothing for Saquon or Xavier, and those are the two positions that just really suck right now for players." And I think after the draft, you're going to see a lot of them get signed. Uh, I know Xavier McKinney is already signed, and so is Saquon Barkley. But in a lot of cases, a lot of running backs and safeties have yet to be signed. And I think a lot of them will probably end up getting signed post draft if they're able to fill those needs with the draft. So, yeah, man, I'm super bummed out about it on a personal level. I'm not reporting here, but I just really, really wanted Fields. I didn't realize how much I wanted him. When you're watching a football game and somebody's like, "Who do you want to win?" And you're like, "I don't care." And then towards the very end of the game, you find out when it's like 4th and 3 with the game on the line, who you really want to win. It comes out of you. And that's kind of how I felt with Justin Fields. It was like, "Oh yeah, I want him. I want him. I want him." I just really believed we were going to get him. That's the thing. I just had this gut feeling that Fields would be a Bronco, and it's like, I mean, a lot of times I feel like I'm right about gut feelings, and this was a very humbling moment for me because it was like, yeah, you can be wrong sometimes. Running back Zach Moss said he's ready for anything in his first year with Cincinnati. Patriots are expected to sign Vikings wide receiver Osborne. Just to catch you up with some of the latest news. I hate that they do this. They group it all together now. It gives me every single move that happened all year. I just want to know what happened the last couple of days. The 28 best available free agents has been updated. The best available right now is Mike Williams, Stephon Gilmore, and Chase Young. So we've gotten into, you might say, though, I feel pretty equally about Chase Young, Stephon Gilmore, and Mike Williams. Towards the end of their career, looking for a place to showcase their talents. But Mike Williams is not 30. Stephon Gilmore is almost in his mid 30s. He's 33. And Chase Young's only 25. So, you can feel the same way about a player, but whoever gets Stephon Gilmore knows that they got a corner for 1 year. Whoever gets Chase Young could have a defensive player for the next 10. So it is a little bit different. I'm really hoping we won't, but whatever. It would be cool if Chase Young went to the Broncos. And then you got, after Chase Young, you got Jadeveon Clowney, Julian Blackmon, and Justin Simmons. Trent Brown is a solid offensive tackle. Calais Campbell, a good defensive end, still out there available. Connor Williams, offensive tackle. A couple offensive tackles here. Then Steven Nelson, a corner that played for the Texans. Then you got Kristen Fulton. Look, there's a lot of solid talent out there. I haven't even gotten to like Odell Beckham and J.K. Dobbins and Tyler Boyd. A lot of great talent still out there. Dalton Reisner, once again, never founded the market he wanted last offseason before being a Viking, who he only got that job in the middle of the season because somebody got hurt. But he was a very capable midseason replacement, and he did really well. So I'm looking to see him get another opportunity. One guy that does excite me is right past the top 100. Dalton Reisner's at 100, but the guy at 101, right? He is very interesting to me, and that's Michael Thomas. Thomas hasn't been healthy enough to play a full season since 2019, but when he does play, he showcases his talent. Like he has flashes and he has moments, but for the most part, he just isn't able to stay healthy. So you see like glimpses of old Michael Thomas, but lately, it's getting more seldom that you see it. So he's worth a shot, just for a team maybe like Dallas. I feel like he's going to end up being a Cowboy. It just seems like a Cowboy move, but I don't know. Like I'm really interested in Michael Thomas, and if he does go to a team, if he can put one solid year together, people are going to maybe go in on a 4-year contract for him. Hey, he's 31 years old. He'll be 32 next year. He could do really good this year and sign a 3-year, $70 million deal, right? And that's really motivating. 3 years, 70 mil. I mean, he's going to be trying his darnest to make sure that he puts together one of his best campaigns ever next year, no matter where he goes. So that in itself is just intriguing to follow. So yeah, a lot of great tight ends still available. Bill said, go take Hodgins for me. He's really good, and we didn't appreciate him enough. If you need a wide receiver, that is. Oh, Isaiah Hodgins. Let's see where he's available. Isaiah Hodgins. Is he? Oh, he didn't make the list. I would actually love a cheap receiver options, but I don't think we're gonna do it because we just restructured or signed Lil Jordan Humphrey. That's his name. Lil Jordan Humphrey. We just re-signed him, and I think I just don't know if we're tanking, right? That's what I'm trying to figure out right now, because I'm okay with whatever's going on, but I need to know at least like we are on the tanking plan. It's official. So when we do this mock draft, I'm doing this mock draft as a Bronco fan, as if I was handed the keys to the Denver Broncos entire organization. This is what I think we need to do to save ourselves. And it started I've done 2 of these. It started both times with me trading for Fields before it started. Okay. Now that's probably not a likely option. I don't think the Steelers would be willing to trade him right after a trade. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be a little bit different than the mock drafts that I've done in the past in that way. So let's see if I can open up PFF mock draft. Here we go. And if you guys enjoy these mock drafts, let me know in the comments. I had been seeing a lot of people on Twitter and social media spaces posting their PFF grades that they've received from their draft. So if that's something that you're interested in, let me know, because honestly, I have a lot of fun with it. And here we go. Start mock draft. We're going to be the Denver Broncos, 7 rounds. I'm going to turn the speed to medium. And then care for positional value, draft needs, randomness. I'm going to turn the randomness up a little bit. Why not? And then let's see if I can put it on the screen here. Yep, there we go. Bam. All right. So, that's the wrong one. Hold on. Extra camera slides, stop screen share, present, share screen. All right, this is the right one. Boom. All right, here we go. Enter draft. So what do we know just starting here? The Bears are going quarterback. The Commanders are going quarterback. The Patriots are going quarterback. The Falcons are going to draft Marvin Harrison Jr. But if they don't, I would guarantee it, the Chargers will. I guarantee it. Harbaugh would not let him slide past him. Okay. Now, what's good to, I guess, mention in this situation with teams that are definitely taking a quarterback is, and this is something that one of my favorite Denver Broncos content creators, I want to give him a shout out really quick, because he's awesome. Let's see. Here he is, Sports Talk Denver. He actually said that he was going to be checking out our content here sometime soon, and I would even like to collab with him. But he posted a video, and he had a really great insight to the fact that if everybody's going to go quarterback, that means we could, for the first time, get 4 quarterbacks to go off the board in the first 4 picks. That would be the first time in history that that's ever happened if a team were to move up. We've never had 4 quarterbacks taken back to back to back to back to open up a draft. So if that does happen, that means only one thing. Somebody that should have been selected at 1 or 2 in another draft where the quarterbacks weren't good are falling down the board. And the question is, those players that are falling, which ones do you love? We can get super focused about this whole quarterback situation, but if you don't love Bo Nix, if you don't love the options available when you're at 12, why not take a player that has no business falling to 12? The best edge rusher in the draft or the best corner. I am not opposed to that. But what I really think Denver needs to do is, most likely they're going to have to move from 12 back and then do it again and then go extra crazy in the second round. So that is some of the philosophy. I'm going to try not to trade for Justin Fields to start the draft. It's going to be difficult because I haven't done this without starting with the Justin Fields trade. But here we go. Enter draft. This is what I'm going to have to click to start the draft. Let's think really quick. What are we going to do at quarterback? Okay. I think we're going to move back, and we're going to probably move up to the first pick in the second round and draft JJ McCarthy if he's available. Okay. If not, we're going to move back and get a lot of equity, and we're going to draft a quarterback next year. And that is literally okay. Here we go. Real quick, Bill said, is there anything to Harbaugh wanting JJ bad enough to grab him? I would say no. There's just not. I mean, Justin Herbert in John Harbaugh, there's been an infatuation um, with each other, mostly Harbaugh and Herbert, which is why he was a link there. So I don't think so, but definitely with Marvin Harrison for sure. I never say never, but I would be shocked. I would be shocked, and I would want Justin Herbert immediately. And he probably wouldn't trade him to us. All right, so here we go. We're going to start the draft. Boom. Bears draft Drake May. Jaden Daniels goes number 2. So here's how the board falls. Drake May goes number 1. What? This is dumb. Why would Drake May go number 1? I understand they're trying to be random, but I almost can't even complete this draft with how nonsensical this is. Drake May. Okay. Yeah, you guys are high off your ass. Okay. So JJ McCarthy's the best quarterback available, they're saying, ranked at 28. God, I almost want to restart this draft, to be honest, because I just can't handle. I think my randomness is too high if Caleb Williams is being drafted fucking 3rd overall, right? It seems like something's a little bit off there. The Giants taking a tackle. Yeah, Bill, let me know what position you think the Giants are drafting in the comments, and I'm gonna turn the randomness down and fucking restart this shit. Sorry, guys. Don't worry, I can actually set it up a lot faster than I did the last one. All right, we're already back in. All right, 7 rounds, but I did turn the randomness down to the very bare minimum. Okay, so hopefully this is a little more realistic. Caleb Williams is not going number 3. I'm sorry. All right, start this. All right, number 1, Caleb Williams. Number 2, Drake May, Jaden Daniels. I'll go with it. Marvin Harrison, number 4 overall. Malik Neighbors, number 5. Ooh. Billy, what do you think about that, buddy? JJ McCarthy. JJ McCarthy goes 6 overall. Then Joe Alt, the best tackle, is finally off the board. This is what I mean. Somebody's going to benefit. I mean, a very good position. You're seeing 3 wide receivers gone in the first 11 picks here. You got 1, 2, 3, 4 quarterbacks, and then you get the top 3 wide receivers off the board. Okay. Then finally, the Bears. They get to just sit back. We don't want a receiver. And why do you think the Bears did the Keenan Allen trade? So when they were on the clock at 9, they weren't in a situation where they had to move up or get FOMO, fear of missing out, on a wide receiver. So the Bears say, okay, we'll get our quarterback number 1, and then we'll watch all the positions that we don't care about get drafted. What are those positions? It's quarterback and wide receiver. We just drafted our quarterback. We bring in Keenan Allen. Now we don't have to care about the wide receiver position, which means roll out everybody that is drafted. Okay, quarterback, wide receiver, quarterback, wide receiver. So the only other position is tackle. Cool, we got a tackle last year. Let's get the number 1 edge rusher in the draft. Ladies and gentlemen, this is exactly what the Texans did last year. So if you're a Bears fan, you love this strategy because this is very realistic to how the board will fall in the beginning. There's probably going to be a lot of receivers taken and quarterbacks. The Bears put themselves in a situation where they'll get their favorite quarterback and they'll get their best pick. Like right here, their needs is quarterback, wide receiver, defensive lineman. But there's certain players that are just too talented to pass. But the Giants going with JJ McCarthy would be a plot twist because the Broncos were going to draft a quarterback. So in this position, JJ McCarthy is the only guy I give a shit about, to be honest. And I'm not going to start over. So Let's see teams that are interested in moving up, like the Saints. Who needs a quarterback? You know who really needs a quarterback? The Raiders. So I could probably just move back one spot. It says that here we go. Raiders aren't interested in moving up. That I'm calling bullshit on that. There's absolutely no way the Raiders aren't interested. They're not interested in a clean swap. You're not interested in moving up a spot? That doesn't make any. All right. Well, let's see. What team would have to move way up that we could hinder? The Chiefs. Chiefs, you want to know what it's like to pick at 12? Let us pick at 64, 95. Ooh. Wow. I could take their 32nd overall pick, which is probably where I could take a first rounder next year. And I could be picking at 64. No, I could probably only get a first rounder. I just want to take the Chiefs first rounder away, but it's a terrible first rounder because they're going to the Super Bowl. The Tennessee Titans, I think, are the shittiest team next year. Okay. They've already picked at 7. So that hurts me. The Patriots next pick at 34. We could go in this direction. Who's going to be bad? You can make an argument that the Seahawks are going to be in a pickle next year. And if we could somehow get their first rounder next year, that would be huge. So I could invest in taking a first rounder next year from them. But I'm gambling that they're not going to be they're going to be, the 12th or worst team, or you know what I'm saying. I'm gambling that this is going to be a bad pick next year. So I don't really love that. And I don't love that they don't have a lot of picks. You go 16 to 81. I'm looking for more picks in the 40s. I would rather move back and get to a spot like this, even 33. I would like to open up the next draft. Okay. So here they go at 39. Would they give me 33 and 39? They would. Okay. Would you give me a third next year? Yeah, they would. I could get 33, 39, 65. A first rounder next year. They're probably not going to be good next year. I don't think it's going to work out. I'll give you 76. And let's see. I'll give you a third rounder next year. So I'll give you a third rounder, the 12th and the 76. You give me 33, 39, and a first next year. This is long-term strategy. That pick could very well, for 2 years in a row, be worth the number 1 overall pick in the draft. If that in itself happens, this trade is worth it. Because I'm essentially moving back, taking next year's number 1 overall pick, and I'm putting myself in a position to have the first pick in the second round, and then also pick immediately after that with the 39th pick. And I don't have a second rounder, as you can see. So I like that I'm doing this. The only thing I don't like is that I'm not getting anything higher, but whatever. Let's see if they'll also let me throw in a 5th. Trade accepted. All right. All right. So here we are on the clock. We're going to be on the clock again here. And I want to see if I can get two picks for this as well. The Commanders want to move up. We'll take 36. And will they give me like a third next year? Yeah. So I would gain let's see if I could go actually and trade the pick that I just gained, 39, for 36. But I'll throw in the 5th rounder. Ooh, they would do that. So I would be moving up 3 spots, and I'll throw in the bullshit 5th rounder that I just picked up. But you guys you need to also give me you'll give me a 5th rounder. How about 70, 139, 152. So 222 is the highest you'll give me. So I like this. I don't really care about this 5th round pick. I don't like that. I wonder if I could. No, I couldn't. So I get to move up 3 spots. So why are they saying they wouldn't? Why wouldn't they do this straight? Oh, because I'm moving up 3 spots, of course. So let's see. I would have to give them 145. What about that? All right, I'll just give them that bullshit 5th rounder. I circled around it, but I just moved up. I like this. All right. Resume. All right, so here's who I missed out on. Xavier Worthy, who was the fastest wide receiver ever in the combine. That's kind of shitty. But here I am on the clock. No. I'm still in the same spot I would have been in. Xavier Worthy went in the 1st round. Okay. All right, it's time to draft the player. The only thing is I really feel like I still need because look at my picks. 33, 36, 36 to 120. I need fucking 60 and 71. And I'll give them give me 35 too. I'll give you 33 and 36. But then I lose that 2nd pick. That's the only thing. No. I get 35 and I lose 36. They get 33, but let me see if I could give them 120 instead. No, they're not budging on that. This is my chance, though, to be able to pick a player and then keep it alive, man. I don't want to not pick for 100 picks. So that's what it would take. You'll give me 66, 71. What about 90? 33, 61, 71, 90. I'll lose this pick. And I'll lose 36, but I'm getting 35. So this is not really a loss. All I'm losing is a 2nd round pick, and I'm getting 60s, 70s, and 90s for pick 33. And let's see if they would even throw in a 5th round pick. What about a 4th? Yeah, I figured they would. Here we go. A 3rd round pick as well next year. Accepted. All right. So here it is. My trade was accepted. I was picking at 33. Now here I go. I'm picking at 35. And now I have much more. I like the way it's spread out a lot better here. All right. We're not trading any more for right now. We're going to draft a player. Let's look at who is the best player available. Well, we were going to go with Bo Nix anyway, so I like how this fell. I'm going to draft Bo Nix with the 35th pick in the draft. All right, here we are on the board here. We're at pick 66. We're also picking here at 71. We need a wide receiver. I love Jalen McMillan out of Washington. Huge fan. I also like Xavier. He was at the combine as well. Let's just see really quick. Let's see where they rank them right now on NFLDraftBuzz.com. So you got Marvin Harrison Jr., Malik Neighbors, Rome. Yep, we know those guys came off the board pretty quick. All right. And Mitchell, Coleman, number 12, 13. Okay, Xavier Worthy was considered the 13th best. Okay, but then Xavier Legette is right there. So not far behind. Whereas Jalen McMillan, all the way down to the 20th best receiver, they're saying that Xavier Legette is going to be the 15th best receiver. Now, Xavier has insane measurables. He had a 4.3 speed in the 40-yard dash along with the size-height combination. And I'm telling you, this guy's 6'1", 221 pounds and ran a 4.39. I'm taking him. He is going to be a Denver Bronco. Too much talent to let pass. And unfortunately, he'll probably be playing a lot in the future. Not unfortunately, but I was just thinking like Cortland Sutton and Tim Patrick and LaJordan Humphrey. Like we need that guy. We need a superstar. We need to bring that energy into the game. I'm drafting Xavier here to bring that energy, to bring the juice to the wide receiver room. We need hype. This guy will bring hype. Back on the clock. And this time, you guys know I feel really good about Blake Corum. I really want to draft him, but I'm also really high on Trey Benson, who's still available. He's going to be picked around 86, they're saying, whereas Blake Corum is going to be picked probably in the next 4 to 5 picks. The Jets aren't going to draft a running back. The Lions aren't going to draft a running back. The Falcons aren't going to draft a running back. And the Bears will not, because they just signed Sweat. So where are we going to get our first running back? The Panthers? Well, fuck, man. I'll move back with the Panthers if I'm going running back, because I don't see these teams taking a running back. And honestly, I have nothing to lose. So where are the Carolina Panthers? Carolina Panthers. Next pick is 76. Give me the 76. I'll give you 71. And in turn, you're going to bridge the gap between 90 and 121. See, I'm picking at 90 and then I have to wait 20 picks. I don't want to wait 20 picks. I want to go on the clock at 101. They say, no way, fuck you. You're not getting that much value. Well, I got that third rounder from Arizona. That's looking really good. How about a fourth rounder? I got a sixth. Let's see. Which of these picks could I do a part with? 207, 203. Let's see, a 6th rounder next year. And I'll give you one. Let's make that a 7th rounder next year and pick 203. All right, we'll do 147. All right, I move back and I get 101. They get a 7th rounder. Fuck it. I'll get a new 7th rounder next year. But they do get 147, but I'm picking at 145. So I don't entirely care about that. That wasn't an issue. The issue was getting into the top 100. This is, I think, a great trade for me. It is accepted. Resuming the draft, we see, where are we? Where are the Panthers? Here we go. So they go defensive lineman, tackle, edge, defensive line, and then Johnny Wilson. So here we go. I'm at 76. There's Blake Corum right here. Very tempting. Jalen Wright is also worth looking at. Now, when you look at on NFLDraftBuzz.com by positions, it has Jonathan Brooks being the clear number 1 running back in the not clear, but just number 1. But Jalen Wright out of Tennessee is number 2. So you got 85.6 rating on one of them and 86.4 on the other. They're literally 1 point apart. Now, what are the size differences? Jonathan Brooks is 216 pounds. Jalen Wright is 210 pounds. Jonathan Brooks is 6 foot. Jalen Wright is 210. One ran a 4.45. The other ran a 4.38. So you're running a 4.38 at 210 pounds. That tells me that you're fast, agile, and physical. I understand why Jalen Wright is number 2 on a lot of people's board, and he is going to be a Denver Bronco. All right. We need a center. We need a center. That The Lloyd Cushenberry, losing him, that was a real problem. All right, the best center is Joe Alt. Um, just going in order here. Let's see. The best center is Jackson Powers Johnson. Okay, so let's go by position here. We can only do offensive line, offensive tackle. All right, so you got some tackles here. Tackle, tackle, tackle. This is kind of how Lloyd Cushenberry was. He was the best center in the draft, and we took him in the 3rd round. No, does center have its own category? Offensive tackle. Where are the centers at? Tackles. A lot of tackles. Show more. No, not more of him. Show more players. All right. I'm about to abandon the whole entire position. Let's see. We got a wide receiver. Let's see who are. I got Cade Stover last time. I really like Cade Stover. Eric All is also a really good option. The number 1 tight end is going to be Brock Bowers. He's probably going to go in the top 10. And then you have Jatavian Sanders. And then Cade Stover's number 3. Cade Stover's right there. I'm trying to see where Eric All is. Here he is. He went to Iowa. So we know that Iowa makes great tight ends. So that's already appealing. He's 6'4". He ran a 4.8. He has reliable hands, and he shows the willingness to make catches in traffic over the middle. He's broad-shouldered. Like, I'm just saying, Eric All is ranked 10th, whereas Cade Stover's ranked 3rd. Cade Stover's has a nice blend of toughness and explosiveness, making him a quality tight end prospect. So, looking at this, man, I just think he's ranked 103, and I'm at pick 90. You know what I'm saying? Let's see where the best value is. Blake Corum, here he is. Damn it. I don't want to see it. Javon Baker is good. Trey Benson's also a really, really good running back to pick up. So some really good value right here. Once in a while, I don't think there's anything wrong with drafting multiple just skill positions. Like, look at David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. Like, would the worst thing ever be drafting Trey Benson and Tennessee's running back? I understand that franchises typically don't do that, but that would be sick as a fan to see happen. Okay. So let's see where the best safety is right here, or best safety available rather. So, looking at the top positions, so defensive back, the best safety in the draft is Cooper DeJean. That's the best corner. The best safety is, the best safety is Tyler Nubin. Okay. Then you have Cameron Kitchens from the University of Miami. And where is USC's? A lot of defensive backs here. Trying to find USC's Kalen Bullock. I'll just search his name. It's usually a little bit easier. Kalen Bullock. And of course, it's only one L, not two. Kalen Bullock, USC. All right. His draft profile bio. He's from California. Starting as a part-time safety in his freshman year in 2021, participated in 12 games. His debut season stats were decent with 30 tackles, 8 assists, 10 stops, 4 pass breakups, 2 picks. Blah, blah, blah. Exhibits elite ball skills, leveraging his high school experience as a receiver to excel in pass defense. This is exactly what I want. Exactly what I want. Listen, the thing about Justin Simmons is that He led the NFL since he joined the league in interception. He was a ball hawking safety, and he got lots of picks using his length to do so. I'm trying to see are the measurables. Oh, he's 6'2", 180. That's literally like Justin Simmons. Justin Simmons' height, weight. Let's see. Justin Simmons is 6'2", 202 pounds. 6'2", 188. So we can put 10 pounds on him, though. I love this pick here. This pick makes me happy. But he's not supposed to go till 97. The Packers need a safety. And, like, look, sometimes you got to know when not to get greedy, right? Am I going to jump down to 7 and take a chance of losing a guy to save myself, 4 or 5 picks and get an extra pick when I know the guy wants here? It's a gamble. It's a gamble. And when do I pick next? Right here, the first pick in the 4th round. This is where I wanted to be drafting. So here I am in the 3rd round. Is the worst thing ever to do it? I mean, you risk losing your guy. The Packers need a defensive lineman as well. They also need a safety or offensive lineman. So there's a guard here that they could end up taking. A tackle they could end up taking, or they could take my guy. But what would the Packers be willing to give up? So the Baltimore Ravens pick at 93, and my guy was supposed to go at 97? ADP 89. He's saying that is ADP when he's supposed to be drafted. ADP. What's ADP? PFF's big board at 97. Let's just draft him. Let's just draft him. I like him. I think he's going to be good. I'm going to take him. All right. Back on the clock. Fuck, dude. If Trey Benson doesn't get out of here, I am going to draft him. And Bill said, glad we agree. Yeah, man, I'm excited. Sorry, I didn't go ahead. He's good. He is him. You saw me come to that realization in slow motion. All right, so let's talk about our draft really quick. Is there any way I can just look at the players that I've drafted? That's the only thing that I wish I could do. But I guess I can. Let me see. What's this? Mock simulator? No, I don't want to fuck anything up. Okay, but we still know that I can just go right here easily. All right, so we traded, and then we took Bo Nix at 35. Okay. Then we were back on the clock here at 66, right? I believe. Yeah, we traded with the Saints. So we got back on the clock at 66. We got one of the best receivers available. Okay. We got a really good weapon for Bo Nix. And then we turned around and gave him the second best running back in the draft to be behind him, working with Javonte Williams instead of Samaje Perine, who we can keep on the roster, but he can be a true RB3, not like last year where he was more an RB2/RB1. Samaje Perine is an asset, but he's an RB3. So Jalen Wright and Javonte become the 1-2 punch. Okay. Then we get back with one of the best safeties in the draft, Kalen Bullock, to replace Justin Simmons. And here we are back on the clock. So far, I got to say, this is going very well. If Denver does just a draft similar to this style, I will be very, very happy. Okay, so here we are. We're at pick 101. This is where we wanted to go. This is for me, okay, when I say I want to jump into the very beginning of the hundreds, to me, this is a value pick. I'm not going after a specific position with this pick. This is a pick that I've given myself extra. So I have the liberty to do whatever I want with it. Meaning, if there's somebody on the board that I really like that fell, I can draft him with this pick. That guy is looking like Trey Benson. Okay. Trey Benson, just really quick. If you can open another tab and just look at Trey Benson's highlights. But look, we have Javonte Williams. And the thing is, Javonte is coming up on a paycheck. Okay. Because you might say, well, that's too many running backs, but Javonte is going to need to get paid next year. It's happening. And if Javonte has a similar year, we're not going to pay him. So you're putting all your eggs in one basket if you're like, no, we already drafted a running back. No, I think he's going to be great. But look around the league. The best offenses have a 1-2 punch at running back. And Sean Payton has never shied away from having multiple running backs in the running back room. I mean, look at the Saints. Sometimes he had 4 or 5 running backs on the active roster. Okay. Pairing Trey Benson with this group of running backs, Jalen Wright, this is a good move. And more accurately, though, this is a Sean Payton move. So, Trey Benson. God dang it. I can't do it, guys, because we do need a tight end. And Eric All is here. He was supposed to go at 103. He went to Iowa. You know the Hawkeyes had. This could be Kittle. This is where George Kittle was drafted in the 5th round. I'm not there yet, but this is an Iowa tight end. You know, this is a value pick. But Trey Benson falling out of the top 100? God, well, help me out, chat. Help me out with this. Javon Baker's also really, I guess, tempting here. But we have Tim Patrick, Courtland Sutton, and we drafted a really good wide receiver. So we also are trying to increase the workload for Marvin Mims. I think we're good at wide receiver. Running back is the position where I'm like, well, even if we are good, we're only good for a year, and then we're going to want another running back. So, like, I can get with the Trey Benson pick. And then at tight end, it's like, yeah, you're getting a tight end, but is it, you know, it's only 3 picks more, but it's still like the value. I'm picking at 101, and he was supposed to go at 103. I know it's petty, but tight end is the future. Tight end is the future. So Bill's saying to go with Eric All. Is that what you're saying, Bill? Eric All? $106 right here. This is a really solid center. Run block grade 77.6. Not great in the pass blocking, but I'm gonna go with Eric All here. I'm gonna go tight end. I'm really, really bummed about this. Trey Benson falling, but the Seahawks aren't drafting a running back. The Patriots are probably. No, Ramondre Stevenson's doing good. Who's the next team? The Chargers? Would the Chargers draft Trey Benson? Oh my God. They would. I need to draft Trey Benson to keep the Chargers from drafting Trey Benson. If John Harbaugh gets his hands on this guy, it's over. But same thing can be said for the tight end position, which the Chargers need. Sometimes you just got to make the pick. Trey Benson's still available? Oh, this is too much. He's not supposed to fall this far. Oh, man. Oh, gosh, this is tough. All right, let's see. I know if I draft another running back, everyone's just going to give me shit. You drafted 2 running backs? That's not realistic. Why not? Why is it not realistic? Why don't teams do this? That's what I don't understand. Too many cooks in the kitchen? It's running back, baby. This is the future. Okay. So the best available corner is Elijah Jones. This is a position that I actually care about. Um, Elijah, how do I spell that? Elijah Jones. Let's see. Wow. Okay, 2023. This is interesting because he had a good year and then an off year, but look where he's trending. 86.9, having some of his best games against more known teams. You got, looks like Vanderbilt, Georgia Tech, Florida State, Boston College. He was tied for 134th in forced incompletions. I guess that's not super good, but main coverage, completion, what about zone? So he's a man coverage guy. I like this. A solid man coverage weapon. And he's supposed to come off the board at 122. Here I am at 121. I think I'm going to go, let's see. Shockey, Bravo, Boss. Tight end is my favorite position. Sorry for the extensive Giants talk. Yeah. Especially old school tight ends, not the new ones that, freaking don't like blocking, the Noah fans. All right, so I think, all right, I think I'm going to draft Trey Benson. I think I'm going to draft Trey Benson. I'll kill myself if I don't. No, I shouldn't say that. I'm saying I would be mad though if the Chargers end up drafting him. I would almost draft him to keep him away. But we also need a center. So let's see where some offensive linemen are. All right, we got 127, some tackles. We're good at tackle. We should be re-signing Quinn Meinerz. Or not, no, he's guard. But we could go left tackle here. And the reason is because Garrett Bowles is probably on his last year. So we could draft a guy this year. He could play behind. Here's Texas's best option available right now. Value at 126. So I'm picking at 136. So there's a couple options here in that area. Maybe he'll fall to me with my next pick at 136, the very beginning of the 5th round. But yeah, I'm gonna just go with. I'm gonna take the value here. Javon Baker, by the way, just to give you guys an idea about Javon Baker, I'm gonna pull up his stuff because Javon Baker, his portfolio, the information that they gave on him is pretty solid. And UCF does sometimes bring in some sneaky talent. Wide receiver. Wait, this is the NFL. Hold on one second. Prospect overall ranking. Here we go. Javon Baker. All right, Javon Baker says here that he should be drafted. Let's see. What round are you guys suspecting that he's going to go? Draft projection, the 3rd round. So they're projecting him to go in the 3rd round at 91 overall. And here we go. I mean, we're all the way down at pick 100, or what are we at? 136, and this guy's still available. In 2020, as a freshman, Javon Baker saw action in 7 games for the Crimson Tide, and he made 2 receptions for only 15 yards. Um, After the season was over, he transferred to UCF, where he was a junior, played in all 13 games. As a senior, he played in all 13, had 52 catches for an elite 1,139 yards, and had an average of 21.9 yards per catch, 7 touchdowns, and an elite quarterback rating when targeted of 117.9. So a very quarterback friendly wide receiver. He's a fluid athlete with excellent short area quickness. He should be able to create separation. He has the straight line speed to threaten down the seam. Speaking of the straight line speed, he ran his 40 at a 4.5. So not that much speed, but maybe he just has pad speed, real speed, football speed. Um, he was frequently put in catch and run situations. So another style of football that Sean really loves, the screens, especially on early downs. He has strong hands, as he has as strong hands as any NFL wide receiver and quarterback would expect. Tracks the deep ball over either shoulder and brings in passes fluidly without breaking stride downfield. Tracks the ball well downfield, shows good ball skills. He has the ability to go in high point in contested catch situations, which is my favorite quality of a receiver. In case you're interested, was wide receivers that high point the football, go at the highest point and get it. They're not passive. They go up. These are playmakers. These are like instinctual characteristics that you have to be born with. And a lot of times people that high point the ball, they tend to be really athletic, very quick off the line. These are all the same things we're seeing from Javon Baker. I like Javon Baker. I think there's a lot of value on the board here. Um, you know, T. Higgins was drafted after Jamar Chase. Javon Baker was drafted after we took Leggett. So here we go. All right. Pick 136. And you got a lot of running backs. Cornelius Johnson on the board. We did get, I believe we drafted Nelson Caesar last time we did the draft. So let's look at the best tackles available. So unfortunately, we did miss out on this group that we were interested in. I believe it was one of the Jordan Travis went to the Vikings. That's a solid pick. So the best value on the board's running back. Not a need for us right now. We already got tight end. So this is a situation where I'm probably thinking about next year. Not like this draft's over, but who wants this pick? 138? You want 136 for 138? We'll give us 162. No, 186. What? Let's see. Next year, give us a 4th, and I'll give you a 6th. Give me a 5th. I move back 2 spots. I get a 5th, and I give you a 6th. Oh! Whoa! Wait, I just clicked it again, and it went through? All right, so I get a 5th round pick next season. I move back 2 spots, and nothing changed for me. Okay, D for the P really quick. Gotta pee. So, back in it. Injury history. I just went through it with Waller. That's why I'd ask. Ooh, injury history. Which player were we talking about with injury history? D4. D4, the P is banned. You know that. I do. Okay. Kalen King is a solid corner. Corner is the next pick that I actually care about. So next year I turned a sixth into a fifth next year by being interested in moving back. So I've already done my research on Kalen King. I love this pick right here. I think he's a steal at 145. I'm actually picking already at 145, so I would be trading with myself if anything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to trade back to the Bills here. They got a pick from Chicago. I'm going to try to go back to back while also upgrading a pick from last year. But let's see if the Bills will do it. So I'll give them 138 for their 144. Of course, they're interested. But let's see if I can turn that fifth that I got into a fourth. I can't make that much magic. But I could take 160 and 163, and I'll give you 203 and 207 in that fifth round pick next year. So I get 144, 145, and then 160 and 163. And then, so I get 140, 145, 160, 163. And then I lose these picks that I don't really care about anyway. And then all I have to do is give them that fifth rounder. Done. Okay, so this is a very solid trade in my opinion. This is probably, I'm the most happy with this trade. All right, let's see who went off the board. So I did that pick with the Bills. They drafted defensive line, Will Shipley. No corners came off. Kalen King right here, supposed to go at 145. I'm going to have, this is a turning point of the draft, right? Justin Simmons was picked in the 5th round. George Kittle was picked in the 5th round. We're getting into the area where if you can hit on these picks, these are the teams that are really good right now. The people that get these picks right. So Kalen King is the best corner available, and Grayson Murphy is the best edge available. I'm going to look up Grayson Murphy's 2024, and let's see, defensive line. Here we go, edge rushers. All right. All right, so let's go to like the second page. The best edge rushers. Here we go. And who are we looking for? Grayson Murphy. Here. Gabriel Murphy out of UCLA. Oh, they have his name different. So they have his name as Grayson Murphy here, but online it's Gabriel Murphy. Let's see if it's the same guy. 247 pounds. 247 pounds. Let's see. Does it have his weight? 260. It must be a different guy. I guess they got two good corners with the last name Murphy at UCLA. It's interesting, right? All right. Well, let's keep looking for our guy then. UCLA. Page 5, page 6. All right, I'm just going to have to type his name in, or I'll just copy and paste it. Grayson Murphy. I found him. 251 pounds of pure muscle. This dude is 6'2". He ran a 4.7 40. which is in the 85th percentile. Let's see what his trends are. He's aggressive with good awareness to track the ball and attack, tenacious, tough, competitive, versatile. His spin move is already NFL caliber, and Murphy displays a very good motor. His closing burst is outstanding, and he routinely finishes plays last year. Murphy has range and toughness as a run defender. He's capable of dropping anchor to set the edge and throwing acceleration to chase down the backside in pursuit. He has a high motor and does a solid job setting the edge. He's ready for the physicality of the NFL. He has a stout build, strong core, and powerful limbs to step in right away as a 3-down player. And this is where I'm going with the draft right here. I'm going Kalen King, Grayson Murphy. And I'm back on the clock at 160. Malik Mustafa, I would love to add him in the safety room, but I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take the center out of Michigan, Drake Nugent. Really good scores, very consistent. You kind of know what you're going to get. Of course, he's not the best available, but I mean, look at his draft position. 60. What is this? 161. Michigan Wolverines, most drafted by NFC North. That's interesting. I guess they're closer, you know. Let's see what else is available. We got really the most values here, but let's see. I think I'm going to take the center. Let me see where he ranks as centers. Drake Nugent. Drake Nugent, Michigan. Drake Nugent, he's 6'2", 298 pounds. Wow. His numbers are really good, actually, showing some nastiness to his game. Nugent will sustain blocks through the whistle. That's a tone setter. Outstanding in the screen game, both because of his instincts both because of his instincts to decisive defenders and mobility to get out. Why does this keep jumping around? Stupid ads. Nugent has a high football IQ, handling protection and calls at the line of scrimmage. This is very important for the NFL. For centers, this is the biggest hurdle that they go through from the college level to the NFL level, is being able to understand the game up here. So I like this. Fundamentally sound, understands blocking angles, using body positions to his advantage, disciplined, awareness, good intelligence, quickness, flexible. This is all the stuff you want to see out of him. His weaknesses is, while he's a solid athlete, he's more comfortable moving forward as a run blocker than setting in pass protection. So he's definitely a run package type of guy, but he could probably learn, and improve in that area. He's more of a phone booth blocker who has limited range. He's also going to be somewhat limited as a pass protector, especially when it comes to mirroring against quickness. So pass protection is a little bit of a weakness, but overall the upside is all there, and it looks like he could be one of these guys that you could train. Drake Nugent, senior out of Michigan. I think we're going to take our chances. Now, he's not supposed to get picked till 164, and I'm picking here at 163. So I think that's a solid pickup. We already got our safety. Let's see if there's anybody else on the board that we love. Myles Murphy was somebody that I really liked. Jaheim Bell. Yeah, I mean, we already got our quarterback. We already got our safety. This is a good spot for safety. I should remember that. But I like the safety that I picked. So yeah, and I also like going offensive heavy here. So I'm gonna go with Drake Nugent, and then I'm gonna turn around and keep it at the O line. So we had a safety picked and the corner, so that means we still have Malik Mustafa, who's a solid pick with this selection. I wonder if the Detroit Lions, they're the ones that aren't interested, but what about the Ravens? If I gave you 163 for 165, would you give me one last pick in the draft? How about a 7th rounder next year? A 7th and a 6th. And wow, I got 2 first rounders next year. That's awesome. A 2nd, a 3rd, a 4th. I need a 5th and a 6th. And I'll get myself a 7th. I'll give you 163. And let's see. Let's see something here. Courtland Sutton. And you guys give me Justin Matabuki. That would never happen. Jadeveon Clowney's a free agent. Patrick Queen's gone. A lot of these players aren't there anymore. So I would be getting rid of Courtland Sutton. And I would get a 4th, 5th, and a 6th next year. You got to understand that I'm not going to get anything for Courtland Sutton if I hold on to him. I just won't. We drafted 2 wide receivers. Tim Patrick, we restructured. Jerry Jeudy's gone. So this is the new era. We got 2 rookie wide receivers. We got Marvin Mims, who's ready to step up, and we have Tim Patrick, the veteran leader. Now we needed to be able to put ourselves in the 4th, 5th, and 6th rounder next year. So you look next year, and let's see if I could even take 128. Wow. Oh no, that's me. I'm like, wow, they'll let me take all that. So yeah. Oh wait, no, this is the Ravens. Okay. Wow, so the Ravens will give me they'll give me 165, 218, 228, 250, a next year 4th, 5th, and 6th for Courtland Sutton in 163. What if I take the 4th and the 6th and ask for a 3rd and a 5th and a 6th? What about a 3rd and a 7th and a 6th? What about a 4th and a 5th and a 6th and a 7th? Look at all these picks. Damn. I wonder if there's like a player that they would even get rid of. Just for fun. Let's see. Would Odell? Okay. I'll just do it this way because this is insane. This is the kind of haul I need for Courtland Sutton, to be quite honest. Oh my God, look what I receive. Look at that. Look at that. And I just moved back, what, a couple spots? I'm sorry, I had to get rid of Courtland Sutton, but at the end of the day, man, I want to get something for him. And I've already drafted his replacements in this draft. I also drafted a safety, a tall, lengthy safety. I like Malik Mustafa because he offers a lot of power over the middle. He's if I remember correctly, let me look up his profile really quick. Can I share this tab? Oh wow, that was cool. So Malik Here he is, Malik Mustafa, Wake Forest. So 5'10", 209 pounds. So a like a slingshot. I'm trying to think of what you'd call a small, powerful player. But until that word comes to me, he's just very small, compact, and explosive. He's elite athletic skills. Made Bruce Fieldman's Freaks list at number 59. This is a list that he makes with the freakiest athletes, and Mustafa made it number 59. This is what I remembered about him. He's 5'10", 205 pounds. He's a 1,300-pound lifter. That includes his bench, squat, and clean. He has a vertical. He can bench 1,300 pounds? No. Like if you add his bench, squat, power clean, it's 1,300. He has a vertical jump of 36.5 inches. He also plays really, really fast, having hit 23 miles per hour on the GPS in a game. This guy is insane. So now I'm going to be putting him in the backfield with the young guy out of USC. Too freaky of an athlete to pass up. He shouldn't even be on the board. All right. So let's see where our pick is. Malik Mustafa, 165. And here we go on the board at 216. Best available, we got an edge, running back, another corner. This is the third of the last pick in the 6th round. You got an edge rusher here in Jalen Green, who should have fallen off the board a while ago. Comes with a compact build that limits where you can play him as an edge rusher, but he's a feisty player who consistently plays with good natural lever. Low loaded 3-point stance, smaller height gives good leverage, fast, violent hands, effective stunt game player, change of direction is really good. He will lose the length battle against NFL tackles. He'll be one of the smaller defensive ends in the NFL once drafted. Short strides limit how much ground he can cover. Change of direction is adequate. But they said a lot of the same things about Elvis Dumervil. Let's see. We could draft another center to have in the room. But we got a guy that's fallen all the way to 195. And you know what Sean Payton said last year? And this is the Vic Fangio philosophy. You can never have too many edge rushers. All right, here we are on the clock. Let's see. We got 2 final picks that we can go. We can get. All right, let's look at some of the fallen talent here. Dylan McMahon. I like this not just because he fell here, but I like this because I don't want to just draft a center and it's like, you're the guy now. I want that room to be full of young talent, and I want to see who emerges. Like, it could be anybody, right? But you need to create a culture of competition. You notice that I've done that with a lot of positions. I did it at safety, but actually safety was like more of a free safety, strong safety scenario because they're 2 different types of safeties. But the competition will still be there. Of course, they're both rookies trying to make an impression. So I'm going to do the same thing at center with one of the centers that has fallen 7 picks. All right, and then here we are with the last pick of the draft. And who is going to be my Mr. Irrelevant? Will Reichard. Well, Mr. Irrelevant is the last pick in the draft, but I always get rated a C when I make this draft pick. All right. Oh my God. Eric All, the tight end, was an F. I got an F on a pick. I've never gotten an F on a pick. That's crazy. Okay, let's go through the draft. I started off by trading the 12th pick to the Carolina Panthers. I gave them my 3rd round pick as well, and I gave them a 3rd next year. They gave me a 5th rounder next year, a 1st rounder next year, the 39th pick, and the 33rd pick. Okay, so already setting myself up in the future for a multiple 1st round selection, 1st round for me. Okay, then when I finally get on the board, I trade to the Cardinals. I give them 33 and 36. They gave me 35, 66, 71, 90, and a 3rd rounder. When I finally get on the board here at 35, I draft Bo Nix. I get an A on that, according to them. Okay, then I'm back on the clock at 36, and I trade back to 39, and I draft one of the best receivers in the draft, Xavier Legette. Legette. Xavier Legette. Then we draft Jalen Wright to put in the backfield. Kalen Bullock, safety. Eric All, Javon Baker. I get an A+ here. Drafting Javon Baker at 121. And then an A- here for drafting Kalen King. A- for Grayson Murphy. B+ for Drake Nugent. Will Mustafa is a B-. And then this is a boatload of freaking assets that I got, getting rid of Courtland Sutton to pave the way for Javon Baker and Xavier Legette. Xavier Legette, Javon Baker, Marvin Mims Jr., and Tim Patrick are now taking over the wide receiver room because I sent Courtland Sutton to a team that is going to contend for a Super Bowl, right? I didn't send him to the Panthers, so he's going to be a Raven. That's scary. But I, in return, get a 4th, 5th, 6th, and a 7th next year. And then I draft an edge. I still get a C for Will Reichard. I get an A for the draft of Dylan McMahon out of NC State. Overall draft grade, once again, I got an A on that. But looking at what I went in with, let's see what I received. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6. So going into the draft, I gained 6 more picks in next year's draft. I gained a 1st rounder next year, a 3rd rounder next year, a 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. That's crazy. I literally got every single round double next year. I have 2 firsts, 2 seconds, 2 thirds, 2 fourths, 2 fifths, 2 sixths, 2 7ths, something like that. Because I was willing to not be greedy and move back and still get my quarterback, which is what the Broncos are going to be at. Like, I'm not reaching for Bo Nix. I'm not reaching for these quarterbacks at 12. I'm willing to move back, take my bet that Bryce Young is not going to work out for the Panthers. And that 1st rounder is going to be worth a lot next year. And let's say in the off chance the Broncos don't get this quarterback solved with Bo Nix, they're going to be drafting next year with the Panthers' 1st pick. And if Bo Nix didn't work out, guess what? The Broncos are going to be losing a lot of football games, meaning Denver is going to be in the exact same scenario that the Bears are in this year. But instead, it's going to be Shedeur Sanders. And right now, it's our job to get this organization ready for us to hand the keys over to a quarterback. Right now, it's Bo Nix. Here you go, Bo. You got all the talent you need. You got capable tight ends. You got 2 really good running backs. Surtain, you have a matched corner. We bring in 2 really elite safeties. Add some elite talent at the wide receiver position. We already have one of the best punt returners. Get some guys to replace Lloyd Cushenberry and Justin Simmons, and then we bring in an edge We get a ton of equity, get a brand new kicker. This is, and then the whole multiple centers. I love this. I got a B+ on this one. I got an A on this one. I want to see these two centers battle it out. And it's crazy. It's like, it seems so simple when you do it on the computer, of course, but it just seems like, why can't we just do this for real? Can we actually just make this happen? I'm going to download this really quick and post it on X, because I think people will agree that this is a pretty solid one. Let's see, media, PFF mock draft. Yep, there it is. Check out my mock draft after the Justin Fields news. Hashtag Broncos country. Hashtag Denver Broncos. All right. I'll say check out my mock draft as the Broncos after the Justin Fields news. So, all right, we got that posted. So this would be really solid, man. This would be ideal. And we're coming up. When is the NFL draft? The NFL draft is going to be happening. Oh, is this Yahoo? God, Yahoo's so trash. Let me Google the same question. Look at this. Oh, Thursday, April 25th. So yeah, I mean, we're getting pretty close here to the draft, and as it leads up to it, I'm more and more happy that we didn't go after Sam Darnold or Gardner Minshew or any of these weapons, not weapons, any of these quarterbacks. And you might be thinking, well, they need to have some kind of plan, and we do, but I would rather Denver not even address the quarterback position and go with Jarrett Stidham for this entire year, if that means we get to draft like this. All right. I just don't want us to be desperate. Like, just let it happen. Let it fall the way it falls, and you'll be rewarded for it. But if Denver gets, desperate and they reach for Bo Nix at 12 or something, I'm not going to be happy about it, because we are in a position where the only thing we need to be thinking about is selling things, getting rid of players, moving back in the draft, and regaining our capital that we've lost since the Russell Wilson deal went bad. So this is the way that I think Denver needs to approach it. And look, if they draft this way, guess what? There's still going to be a ton of excitement. If Hard Knocks decides to be in Denver, where the Saints, Broncos, and Bears are the only teams that can do it, Bo Nix working with Sean Payton and Xavier Legette and Jalen Wright and Javon Baker, I mean, this would be a fun team. There would be a lot of juice in the air with a draft like this, keeping in mind the whole entire year that next year we're going to have multiple first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh round picks. I mean, this is how you heal an organization in a year. So let's look at what happened around the league. All right. Caleb Williams went number 1. Drake May went 2. Jaden Daniels went 3. Then you had Marvin Harrison Jr. go 4. Malik Neighbors to the Chargers. Hate to see it. Then you got the New York Giants picking J.J. McCarthy out of Michigan with the 6th pick in the draft. Joe Alt, the best tackle, goes. And then Rome, Dallas Turner, Brock Bowers falls all the way to 11. Jared Verse, who's considered the best edge rusher in the draft, the Panthers move up and steal him. Yeah, the Broncos could have drafted the best edge rusher out of Florida State, right? Seems enticing, right? You got to put yourself on the clock at 12. Jared Verse is available. What are you going to do? Hopefully they make the right decision to move back, because it is tough to say no. It is tough to not do this at number 12. But they need to be thinking about the 3rd and 4th round. We don't even have a 2nd round pick, so why don't we think about that? Okay. But as you can see here, the Denver Broncos do not pick in the entire 1st round the way I did it. You got some tackles going out the board. Then Terrion Arnold finally going to the Colts at 15. Byron Murphy going to the Seahawks. That's a good, I could see that pick happening. Nate Wiggins goes at 20. Tackle. Then you got Brian Thomason Jr. This is a very scary situation for the Eagles if they do draft Brian Thomas. Oh my God. That just seems like something that could happen. And then Cooper DeShawn, the best corner in this year's draft by a lot of people. I would still take Terrion Arnold first, and he does go first in this mock draft. And then Latu, who's also the best edge in this draft, goes to the Cowboys to pair with Micah Parsons. That's exciting. Chop Robinson finally falls at 27. And then you got another round of wide receivers here with Xavier Worthy and Adonai Mitchell from Texas. Xavier Worthy obviously was the one that broke the world record. And then Kool-Aid coming up the board around 30. This is really realistic. I think Kool-Aid is probably going to come off the board at the very end of the 1st round or the beginning of the 2nd round. And yes, Bo Nix was taken shortly after. Only 3 picks after the 1st round concludes was Bo Nix called and asked if he wanted to be a Denver Bronco. So yeah, once again, this is it. This was my mock draft. So I'm really excited to know what you guys think of it. Bill said, sorry, I'm the guy gonna be live, but love you, dude. Sorry, I'm the guy gonna be live. Gonna be live. What do you mean, Bill? No, I'm probably reading it wrong, or there might be a typo, but that is the end of my mock draft. So, Bill, thank you for tuning in. Thanks for watching. If you guys enjoyed it, let me know in the comment section. And if there's a different strategy that you think would be better for the Denver Broncos moving forward, let me know what you think it is. But Justin Fields is not one of the options available anymore. He is a Pittsburgh Steeler. How this affects the Denver Broncos, it does. But you let me know how you think it does in the comments below. As always, you guys can subscribe to my YouTube channel, and you can follow me on Twitter at NFL with Kyle. I give the news weekly and videos like this. So hope you guys enjoyed your St. Patrick's Day. I know I enjoyed mine, and I can't wait to see you guys tomorrow. Everybody, have a good night. Bill, keep it real, homie.